Gang's all here. We've got Honey over there and Max. I've got banana snacks for Max. And then I have my coffee. A bit hot. Okay. Let's see. Let me get you in the right spot. Maybe a bit higher. Anyway, I feel like this is good lighting though. I've got my bedroom window over there. So we're in my bedroom. So I don't really have, I'm not an interior decorator. So it's not exactly the prettiest room. But I am feeling the urge to get better at that. I do want to create more of a home. Up until recently, I feel like Rolly and I have always been very practical with the way our house is set up. It's not beautiful in any way. But our new deck and our new kitchen that we just recently got renovated mid last year, I think it was finished, has really made us... What are you doing? I really want to make our house a little bit prettier, a bit nicer, a bit more homely, a bit more cozy. I mean, it is because it's small, but I think because I'm home so much more now with Max, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mum. Yes, I do work, but I also work from home, so I have to make a real effort to get out of the house as much as possible. And sometimes for example, when Max is sick and you can't leave the house and you've got to work at home as well, it does get a little bit tedious. So I do want to make our house just that little bit more cozy, a little bit more homely. And that is what I want to talk about today, mainly. What are you doing? Look at him. There's Max. Oh, be careful. Oh, no touching. No touching. Just looking. Yeah, just looking. I know. So what I wanted to talk about is minimalism. So he's going to be very distracting. Wait, just sit here with me. Can you sit here with me? So I wouldn't call myself an expert by any means. I'm always still trying to implement the philosophy of minimalism into our lives. But I would say I've been a minimalist sort of all of my life. Looking back on it, I probably didn't realise that that was what you call it. And it was a lot of the time out of necessity, especially as a young uni student with no money. I've always been kind of like a one pair of jeans and a one pair of, you know, denim shorts kind of girl, and then like maybe a couple of other things. And then I think once I got my first, you know, full-time job, I went a little bit crazy and got into like spending money. But apart from that, I think as well, once we moved in together, Rolly and I, we decided that we were going to take 6 weeks to travel around America and visit my sister when she was living there. So we scale, you know, we've looked at all of our finances. We committed to not spending money and saving it. Essentially, we have really not spent our money on too much stuff, and that is one big part of minimalism. But what I want to talk about today mostly is I see that, oh look, Honey's here as well. I see that minimalism has become a lot more popular in the last, well, I think there are two factors that have made it become more popular and more of a term and more of a thing that people are aspiring to. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? You be careful with that camera, please. Good boy. Sorry about this little camera break. And I put it down to two major things, and the first one is the release of a really popular book, or the rise in popularity of a really big book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And that book is written by Marie Kondo. So her version of decluttering is called the KonMari method, and it's very good. It's a great place to start with the decluttering journey. Hi honey, look, she's doing kissy eyes because she wants something. I'm watching you. Documentary by the Minimalists, which the two minimalists, there's two guys and they made a documentary about minimalism, and they've got some of the big bloggers and big you know, I want to call them influencers in the minimalism movement. So those two things have really sparked a growth in popularity in minimalism. But I think when anything becomes more popular, some aspects of it become oversimplified, misinterpreted, and I think people associate minimalism with decluttering. Decluttering is actually only like the first step when it comes to minimalism. For me, I believe that minimalism is a lifestyle. We're not having much luck with Max at the moment. We've had a little chat and I think he's going to sit here for a bit while we finish this video. So as I was saying, and I'm not being judgmental in any way, I'm not saying that if you're just decluttering that you're doing it wrong, but I do think that it's not an end point. Decluttering your home and getting rid of half of your possessions, I think of the analogy of when someone goes on a diet. Not that I'm condoning going on a diet, but if you were to go on a diet, you would automatically probably go through your fridge and your pantry and get rid of everything that you don't want to eat, foods that aren't allowed in your new eating plan. But you wouldn't then just continue on without having any recipes or a new eating plan or, you know, meal preparation or whatever. Like, you would have a solid plan that once you had cleared out your cupboard, you had a new way of doing things. So that is how I think of with decluttering. It is about, once you've done that, determining the way that you will live your life after that. So you're clearing out the physical clutter to make more space physically for new ways of life, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. And so a lot of that, which I want to talk about all of those things in other videos, but I just want to highlight that what are your new habits going to be? If you're just going to go and you've cleared out your closet and now you go and spend all your money on more fast fashion to replace the clothes you threw away, that is not minimalism. Yeah, I do have a lot of thoughts on the issue, or on the topic of minimalism, especially, you know, I've come a long way, and I feel like I was very much along a simple minimalism lifestyle, and then we had children, or then we had Max, and things changed. There were a lot of things that I couldn't keep up with, and that I had to make an allowance with myself just because I was a new mum. Things like sometimes forgetting to take shopping bags or ordering shopping online, like groceries online, and they automatically always just come with in plastic bags. And my preference is, you know, as part of being a sustainable, simple living minimalist, I prefer not to use plastic bags. But if I was going to order shopping online, I had to make an allowance that that was going to be the way that things had to be for a little while. Yeah, so anyway, that is that story. So decluttering is, by all accounts, a very valuable thing to do. It helps you to clear your mind, it helps you to feel less overwhelmed, it helps you to connect in with what's important, but it is definitely a starting point. That's all I got to say on that for now. Okay, bye guys, talk to you soon. Mwah.